I'm coming in hot. Yeah, coming in hot. Just like the fajita. I write what I live. My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the.
What it do, YouTube? It's your boy MonroeTKD in the house, coming from me, B-Rob Sports. What it do, y'all? Today, I'm going to be talking about this crazy Game 4 between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. Crazy. If you like my content, please like, subscribe. I will send a link there at the bottom. And during this video, please leave your comments and what you think at the end here. Who you think gonna win this series? Because it's been kind of crazy. But let's get into it because we got a lot to talk about, y'all. But I'm gonna keep it short. When you look at Game 4, you know, another blowout. It's crazy how both teams keep blowing each other out. But unlike the blowouts between the Miami Heat's win versus the Celtics win, it's a bit different. The Celtics won by a little bit of a bigger margin, more in the 30s compared to 24-26 with Miami Heat. Game 1, let's just get into it. No Al Horford, no Marcus Smart. I don't know if the morale or the psyche just wasn't there, but it clearly showed that they were missing those two, okay? They come into that game, they didn't lose massively, but they came back a little bit in the late game, tried to make those adjustments, but Miami came out swinging. Okay, Game 2, complete abomination. You already know how that went. Complete abomination. Jason Tatum showed up. Everybody showed up. And of course, we got Al Horford and Marcus Smart back. You know, and those two on the defensive side of the floor. But we didn't have Robert Williams, though. Keep that in mind. But they came in and dominated. Game 3, they played like they just left, you know, everything at home. They had a bucket of chicken and got drunk and decided to have a little party and then came into that game. I haven't seen the Celtics look this bad during the postseason so far. Passes were just lazy. They just came in there acting like, man, I had an hour of sleep or something. It was ridiculous. But the main thing when you look at both these teams, especially after Game 3 going into Game 4, and then we won by a massive convincing margin with that Game 4. You know, even with Kyle Lowry there. Kyle Lowry coming back Game 3. But Game 4, we did not have Marcus Smart, but Robert Williams. My God. That dude is, the way he covers and the defense is clearly, the roster in general is just much better with the Boston Celtics. You know, they have more guys who can get it and just come up with the basket and make those points. You're looking at Bam Adebayo, you know what I'm saying? He had the one game where he came back, which was unexpected in Game 3. You know, he was silent, and all of a sudden, that one time, and that was weird. We're going to get to that in a minute, how Jimmy Butler they just took him out of halfway in the game in Game 3, but came back, almost took it. But just looking at this, a crazy stat I had no idea Game 4 is that Jason Tatum had more points than the starting five of the Miami Heat that first quarter. That was stupid. You know what I mean? Not only that, but one of the guys on the bench, I forgot his name, you know, my mistake, but he also had more points than their starting five just coming off the bench from the Miami Heat. If you guys remember who he is, let me know in the comments. But I forgot his name. But my God. And then, you know, with Game 3, Game 4, all of them, it's crazy that out of 16 quarters, the Boston Celtics outscored them 13 of those 16. That very last one that they counted was in Game 4, where we were up by technically 30 points, and they decided you know, let's just put our bench guys in. Let's just take the starters out. This game is done. So that one technically really didn't count. So it was more like just 2, you know. All that tells me not only is Boston the better team, but when you look at it, this series is going to go based on how well the Boston Celtics mentally play, or if they're going to sit down and kind of just relax. It comes down to how they play, because the statistics show more. If you want to look at it from either eyeball test, you want to look at the analytics or whatever, it shows a bit more that the Miami Heat kind of kept a little bit more of their same game plan. You're watching this tape, I'm watching the games, and you're looking at it, and it just looks like we're just going to do us. But then Boston is either going to beat themselves or outplay them, because they know it. But that's really what it comes down to watching this game between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. And my God, it has just been, you know, those 2 losses really is more Boston just shooting themselves in the foot. I hate to say it. I'm not being biased. I'm going to tell you right now, I am a Celtics fan, just to be fair. But, you know, there's been times where I'm like, yeah, you got to give Miami credit, okay? They came out, they made their shots, they did their thing in Game 3, that is, of course. But, man, Game 4, now that this is going back to Miami, we going to see what happens. Give me your perspective and let me know who you think is going to win this series. I personally think this is still going to go 7 games. But I think Celtics are going to take it in Game 7 on the road against Miami. And I believe Jason Tatum's going to have a monster game. But I could be wrong. But we shall see, y'all. Holla back at me.